everybody, welcome to the Delia Louise book series. I'm Christina, Kristina my baby here. Today we are talking about The Child, Where Silence Has Leased, Elementary My Dear, or Elementary Dear Data, The Outrageous Okinawa. You wanna stay? You wanna get down? So, this is season 2, and I have a ton of pet peeves. First of all, not you, but the writers of Next Generation, or whoever it was, because I really don't know whoever it was. You wanna go? You can go. So all right, we'll get to it. First, there's no voiceover introduction in The Child in the beginning. So most of the time, there's usually a introduction in the beginning. So, anyways, but there is an enthusiastic shuttle launch. I don't know why, but there's an enthusiastic shuttle launch. And Geordi has been promoted to chief engineer. Finally, we get an engineer. Okay, now, my pet peeve with you, the writers or the powers that be, whoever you are. You replaced Gates McFadden with Diane Mulder as Dr. Pulaski. And you have written her so negatively. I mean, all right, the fans were upset that Gates McFadden was gone because she was family. She's part of the show. And you turned her out. And then you got Pulaski in. And she's negative. She's a very negative character. And she's just, So then they get this alien thing that goes into Diana's room. And then we get the credits, and Diana Mulder is listed as a special appearance. Why is she a special appearance? I thought she was a cast member. You're losing me here. And then everybody gets annoyed that she didn't report into the doctor's quarters or wherever. And it seems that not only did the fans have a problem with Gates McFadden leaving, but the very first time Riker talks about her, it's in a slight negative way. Trouble with the name, annoyed that she comes on and is intent forward. It's not a way to promote public acceptance of the new character. It just wasn't. And so Picard is not too happy with her. Worf says, not the best way to meet your new captain. Then Wesley goes in the turbo lift with the captain and talks about how hard it will be for him to leave the Enterprise. Apparently, Miss Crusher has been made head of Starfleet Medical, which I'm thinking Star Trek Picard, number 3. So that's a big promotion, and Will Wheaton has gone through a growth spurt, and when he goes in the turbo lift, he's almost the same height as Picard. But then he's going to the 10 forward to confront this lady, and then he finds out about Deanna Troi. And Pulaski, she's not going to make friends or fans of the show when Data offers to hold Troy's hand while she is in labor with the child. She says that she needs the comfort hand of a human touch, not the cold hand of technology. What? Come on. It's not the way to write a character. She's ever insulting Peter. And he's a beloved character. What the F are you doing? the outside the delivery room, the look on his face is priceless when he's looking at Diana. It just love. And Dr. Pulaski throughout the entire episode is mispronouncing Data's name as Data. And that's just, why did you go through all this trouble to write in a new character? And you know the fans were unhappy, very unhappy with the situation. They wanted Beverly Crusher and Gates McFadden back. And you're sabotaging, you the writers or whoever is sabotaging the heck out of this character. And I just don't get it. I really just don't get it. It just annoys out of me. So, we finally seen Colin Meaney, or Chief O'Brien. He's listed in the credits as Transporter Chief. What the F? I like Wesley has a moment with Guyton, and she's just helping him explain to other people why he doesn't want to leave the Enterprise. I mean, of course, he's got a job. The actor doesn't want to leave the show, not that I know of. So they needed a way for him to continue. And then the boy tells they're having trouble with that growthy thing in the loading dock, and apparently it's because Ian, the kid that Troy had, and he says that he's in danger, and so then he passes on and he becomes that little light fixture again, and he said this was the way he wanted to learn about human life, so he wanted to experience it from beginning to end. Short period of time, like 4 days, few hours. And then it's, Wesley goes into the captain and tells the captain that he wants to stay. And so the captain's like, all right, we'll consider it. And then he goes out to the bridge later on. You see him on the bridge. And the crew teases him mercilessly. Just teases the life out of the poor child. But that's an indication that the character is staying. But I had so many Pulaski is just So, where silence has lease, there's no opening statement. And what was the reasoning behind the holodeck opening with Worf and Riker acting out a Klingon thing? I don't know. Then Worf says it reminds him of an old legend of ships being surrounded. Oh, that space thing, and they take him seriously. And again, the second episode in a row where the Doctor insults Data. Why did the writers do that? Why did the writers write this character, who's supposed to be a caring, loving doctor, by the way? You're supposed to have good bedside manner. You're not supposed to insult your patients. I want to know what's going on here. Why would you write a character? I guess you just wanted to mess up the fans, huh? I mean, this was a good show. They had a good standing. They had a firm background. And you wanted to play with it? You didn't, what? You didn't like the fans or something? Why would you purposely sabotage a character? Or maybe the person that got rid of Crusher has left and you're all trying to fix it by sabotaging the character in the episodes. Because that's what it's like. You're really sabotaging the life out of the character. It just makes no sense. Well, they got rid of McFadden against the fans' wishes, and to replace her with a very insensitive doctor just doesn't make any sense to me. Just doesn't. Oh, and then she says to him uh, that she has to get used to being around non-living devices. And then she apologizes that the service record said State is alive. So, what's she gonna say about the doc on Voyager? What's she gonna say about that one? This episode reminds me of, speaking of Star Trek Voyager, this episode reminds me of Star Trek Voyager's episode Parallax, where they encounter the other ship, and it's really them. It's like a mirror kind of thing. Then they encounter a Romulan vessel and destroy it. And then they encounter a Federation ship with no life signs on it, the Yamato. And O'Brien is back again, but he has no name yet. He's just a lieutenant. Felt bad for Colin. I really did. And then they beam over, and it's like a haunted ship with fake screams and stuff. And then they figure out that the metal and stuff is not the same as Federation ships. So then they consider it that it's like rats in a maze response to stimuli. And I just didn't like that. Who was that? Pavlo guy that did all that crap. It's cruel people. Why does anybody want to be cruel? And then Neglim appears, and you always know whenever there's an extra on an away mission or anything like that that has a little bit of a significant role, you know they're the guinea pig, right? So Haskell's the one that dies. He's the extra. So, as I said previously, that every time someone gets up out of their seat, an extra just comes and sits down. And it's a great thing for your friends and family that you got to be on Star Trek Next Generation. You didn't have any lines. You just had to wear the uniform, walk over, sit down. That was it. So this guy got a little extra. He had to walk over, sit down, and die. So maybe he got a few extra dollars in his paycheck. Who knows? But the whole thing reminds me of Q. Does it remind you of Q? Something he would do. And when the entity kills him, he was the sacrificial lamb for the episode. Then Neglim announces he wants to learn about death and plans to kill half the crew. Again, he sounds like Q. And they set the auto destruct. You know, in the olden days, or in future episodes, they had to list off a whole bunch of numbers. I have some company. Hello. We're talking Star Trek Picard here. What do you think? Star Trek Next Generation, I mean. So what do you think? We having a good time? It's my baby girl. Are you having a good time? Say hi. Hi. Hi, everybody. Please like and subscribe my mommy's videos, please. So, they set the alarm, the auto destruct, and again, Pulaski reminds us. She's like, why do I get the feeling this was not the time to join this ship? You know, she's forever saying stuff. Just irks me something bad. And so then he dissects the 20 minutes, and I'm thinking it's a massive bluff. And then he goes to his quarters. What the F? And then Troy comes in and she says some stuff. And then Data comes in, and Picard realizes it's not them. It's Troy. It's the Neglium guy thingy. and he just was trying to learn some more stuff about the humans, I guess, the human species. So then that ends, and we get to elementary zoo Data. And we know from last season that Brent Spinner and Data have I don't know if it's Brent personally, but Data the character. Oh, let me just my bangs are a little sorry. Why he has a fascination with the holodeck. So they go on the holodeck and they get the Sherlock Holmes mystery. But because Data has internalized all the story, he knows it by heart and he knows his lines. And Jody gets frustrated that he's able to solve it in like 10 seconds. And Jody's like, that's not fun. So then Pulaski says we learn by failure. Well, I don't like that part. I don't want to fail, right? Nobody likes failing. So they go to back to the holodeck and they program to challenge Data, create a mystery to defend Data with an opponent who has the ability to defeat Data. So they create an adversary capable of defeating Data, and Moriarty gains the upper hand and control of the computer. See, they never should have. There was wording issue there, and they talk about that with Picard later on. And then Pulaski sits down and has tea with Moriarty. I want to know what the F was up with that one. She's supposed to, I guess she's like, she's on the holodeck. You know, it's just a fake character. Got another visitor. A reluctant one. So, they're on the deck and she's sitting down and having tea with Moriarty. With please like and subscribe my mommy's video. Okay. Like, you're supposed to be playing a role. You're supposed to be the terrified little hostage. You're having tea and scones with Moriarty. It just doesn't work for me. And then Moriarty's got this machine, and it looks like a lever, any kind of lever. Remember the old voting machines where you'd go in the thing and you close the curtains, and then you choose your chooses, and then you pull the lever, and your votes would count, and the curtains would open. Or on a ship or something, and you pull the lever. So why, when Moriarty pulls this lever, is the Enterprise rocking? Why is the holodeck fake piece of machinery controlling the Enterprise? Would you please explain that one to me? Because I don't get it. Why this fake piece of machinery in the holodeck? And I mean, all right, Moriarty claimed to have control of the ship, but he has no knowledge of how to work the ship, I don't think, because he's a holodeck character. I just don't get it. So then, they explain to Moriarty that he will cease to exist once the holodeck leaves, and Moriarty believes he's still alive and he is a being. And Moriarty says he doesn't want to die. And again, did you all watch the holodeck episode with Mason Dixon or whatever his name, Dixon Hill with Picard? What are you eating? And got something. And they called it. Moriarty actually says the long goodbye. Again, we have two hologram characters who are semi-sentient and aware of the. We're supposed to have fun on the holodeck. It's supposed to be fakey wakey. I don't want people to know that they're dying on the thing. I just don't get it. Okay. So the outrageous Okanara. William Campbell reminds me of San Diego Cabrera from Picard. Definitely for Earl Flynn, those swashbuckling musketeers or heroes or pirates. That's what he reminds me of. He was also in The Rocketeer, and he was also in Bram Stoker's Dracula. And rumor has it that he tried out for the role of William Riker on Next Generation. And I would do it again, but because of the issues with Disc 5, go back and check it out because I tried an experiment and it blew up my face. Riker says that's what our job is, to expect the unexpected. In 2 months, we got Julie Chen Moonves, and we got possibly 16 new house guests. Live feeds where you can watch people do everything 24 hours a day. Watch people brush their teeth and comb their hair and put their makeup on and tell little secrets. It's like the fly on the wall. Those feeds are just like, yes! And we may even get, we don't know yet, well, I would personally like a BBOTT. 2. It would be number 2. And, but we might get a Celebrity Big Brother. I prefer BBOTT 2. Because BTOTT was great. That's Big Brother over the top. That's what BBOTT is. And hey, if you haven't, oh look, there's Mr. Casanova back there. How you doing, Casanova? But it's just, so he says expect the unexpected, and I would play my Big Brother clip again because of the things. And when he beams onto the Enterprise, it's Lois Lane! Is the transporter chief, Terry Hatcher. Now, this is about the same time as Lois and Clark started The Adventures of Superman. I wonder if Dean Cain knows what she's been doing, because she sleeps with Mr. O'Connor here. Must be faithful as Superman. And he comes on to her, and then he goes to her suite, and she's all dressed sexily. So she must have got a few extra bucks for the episode for doing all that. And I love Guinan's interaction with Data. I love Whoopi Goldberg and Brent Spinner together. And he goes into the holodeck, and he's Joe Pesci is trying to teach Data how to be funny, and he's just having a really hard time with it. So it's just, and then Guinan tries to help Data tell him a joke, and Picard seems to have a little bit of fun with the ships that show up, and Picard's like, leave the shields down just in case we want to surrender. They're like prepared to be boarded. I'm like, what the F? You're an itty bitty puny little ship. This is the Enterprise. And it reminds me a little bit of Gulliver's Travel, maybe. And Worf calls it a gobfly. I have no idea. And Data goes off on it. But Casanova's a sweep. He's back there. So when Worf goes to look for O'Connor after they have the vessels come by, he's walking down the hallway and it's din it. I'm like, Jaws! And he goes to the room, and O'Connor's in bed with yet another girl. I think it's with 3 girls on this. And it just, and then they get everybody together, and all right. So we are the Hatfields and McCoys, or are we Romeo and Juliet? Because the one guy says O'Connor stole the thing, and it's not. O'Connor was supposed to give the thing to the girl, and the father thinks the girl's kid is O'Connor's, and it's not. It's the boy that comes with and the girl. O'Connor has nothing to do. Well, he was like passing letters by. He was playing the go-between friend, helping them secret rendezvous, all those kind of things. And it's just like, they're trying to ban Romeo and Juliet. This is Shakespeare. And the Hatfields and McCoys. These are legends. You can't mess with legends. And I felt really, really bad for Data at the end of the episode. I really did. There was him trying to tell jokes, and he figures out that the audience is programmed to laugh that way. I really felt bad for him. But I love seeing. We saw a whole bunch of Whoopi Goldberg in this episode. It was great. It really was. It was so great. Um, but I'd really appreciate it if you take the time to like and subscribe to my videos. You need 4,000 likes to do anything, and you can see how many I've got, like 3, 4. But I would really appreciate it if you'd just tap the button, hit the thumbs up. I don't have any fancy gadgets. It's me talking books or me talking Star Trek or another show. And you are going to hear me complain the entire season about Dr. Pulaski, and I don't understand why the writers wrote her that way. I just don't. But that's what they did, and I really have to. I would like to get another case, but I don't want to ruin it. How many of you have broken these things? Mine are all still intact, and you really can't read them. Why do they make them so you can't read them? Can you read them? I can't read them. But anyways, please take the time to like and subscribe to my video. I'd really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed The Child, Where Silence Has Leased, Elementary Dear Data, and The Outrageous Okana are definitely Earl Flynn type. Definitely. I don't know if he could be Jack Sparrow or not, but please take the time to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in.